Welcome back to Half Full, Half Empty. We are your hosts, Danielle and Gunnar, and today we're going to be talking about traditional gender roles in the home. And then later in the show, we're going to be giving you advice that you maybe should think twice about taking. Let's get into it. First off, I think we want to give a huge thank you to David, your friend, for sending us these fuzzy little microphone covers. Sorry if you're just listening and not using the video, but do you want to speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, I wish you could feel them. They're just... We were given a lot of critiques about our audio last time.
Which, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. But this is a solution to it. We just have pop filters now, and also keeping the mic still. Hopefully it makes the experience a little better for those users who are listening in their car or on headphones. So sorry about that last episode, but here we are now.
I even knew that because I have these headphones that are bass boosted and I couldn't even edit the podcast list using them. I had to use plug in little earbuds because it was so awful.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know. We're trying it out. We're putting books here to hopefully keep the mics still, not moving them around so much. And yeah, the filters, they're very cute. Also, I wanted to touch on the color of the microphones. Again, sorry if you're just listening, but Gunnar has a white microphone. I have a black microphone, and that is kind of intentional because of our roles in this podcast, me being...
Or just our roles in general.
Yeah.
How we function. Danielle has the black one, I have the white one, and it's based off the name Half Full, Half Empty. I being the half full part with the white microphone.
And I being half empty with the black microphone. It's just light and dark. I don't know, whatever.
So, I mean, that's just how we function normally. Hopefully it shows in this podcast. Maybe it won't show in this podcast, but I am definitely more of the optimist, and Danielle is more of the pessimist, so...
Yeah, we really didn't touch on that in the first podcast. I feel like that's kind of important. That's the whole point, is kind of giving you our perspectives from a half full and half empty point of view.
Yeah, so here we are. That hopefully that sets the scene for you. We're in our 3-room apartment right now. We have it cranked to 75 degrees.
Always.
It is sunny for the first time in Pittsburgh, and we are sat down here. I am off the coffee right now, going wild. Danielle is super smiling, and we are ready to get into it.
It might be hard to believe that I'm the half-empty one because of how psyched I get to do the podcast, but I truthfully have not been so excited to do something for a long time, so that's why I'm extra about this. But no, I'm excited that you're cracked off the coffee because you are my humble king, but I want more out of you. I want you to give more. I feel like the last episode was a lot of me, so I want more from you.
You want spicy takes from me.
Pick up the pace, or I don't know.
Yeah, so this year in general, I just want to, something I set out to work on, I haven't really worked on it yet, is just speaking my mind more, and being okay with being more polarizing. Not so much controversial, but just being okay with people not liking my take, or having any having someone not agree with me, because I feel like a lot of my life it's just been trying to win people over, being a people pleaser to almost a fault, you know? I don't get to actually be who I am. I'm scared to say what I want sometimes. So this hopefully is a good way to just kind of speak my mind and be okay with, or become okay with being more polarizing.
It's literally exposure therapy, because we're putting this online.
Right.
We were just talking about this, how everything online is an argument.
Yeah, you really see that. It feels like everyone's giving their 2 cents these days about how you should live your life, or how you could live your life, including us.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, we really try to bring it from a perspective of, this is what's worked for us, this is what we're doing now, and we feel it's helpful or not helpful, and are just giving our experience from it. Where it will never be this is how you should live your life. Right.
This is not the end all be all. This is just what works for us.
Yeah.
So and hopefully it can help you in some way.
Yeah, we're really just trying to give it from that perspective and move from there. So hopefully whatever we're talking about comes from a place of, here I go, just trying to be agreeable. No. I'm trying to dampen it.
It's true.
But this is just how we've been doing things, and hopefully you can take something from it, essentially.
Yeah, great.
And if you hate me, I'm okay with it.
Or at least we will be okay with it.
Yeah. But if you want to throw a hate comment at me, now's a great time.
Now's a great time.
I'm
to
definitely
practice.
Gonna take it personally.
Okay, cool. All right, today's topic, like I mentioned, is traditional gender roles in the home. And the reason that we picked this as this week's topic is because we were just talking about this like 5 days ago, laying in bed, like right before bed. I don't even know how we got started talking about it. I think because of my...
Yeah, I think we can just start with like how you've been feeling.
Yeah.
Like, and
yeah,
if you want to get into that.
I mean,
or just how you've always felt.
Yeah, well, not maybe so much always, but since I quit my job as a full-time server, I think I've felt this way. Like, I definitely allowed myself to, while I was traveling in the ambulance, to just like kind of be okay with not having any income and living off of my savings. That was the plan when I moved into the ambulance to travel, and that was cool for a while. But now it's like probably 2.5, 3 years later, and I don't have stable income, and that really stresses me out. And so we were talking about this, and I've just been feeling really lost. Like, I don't want to go to a job that I hate again. I don't want to, I mean, as everybody, you know, that's literally everybody's feeling.
Do you want to talk about how you base your worth off of how much money you're making?
Right.
Like that's a connection in your head that is tough for you.
Yeah, I'm still, I think, trying to like
process that.
Decode that. I think you might know that.
Well, yeah, let me just speak on
what you're seeing.
Yeah, from my perspective here. Danielle really loves to. How much money she's making is directly linked to like how productive she's feeling, or
that's true.
So if she has like no money coming in, she will fucking beat herself up about it, and she'll be a piece of shit, and like she'll be down the whole day if someone asks her anything about like what she's been doing. So that's like a connection that Danielle has in her head that has been pretty harmful just to her mental health, as she said she doesn't have a stable income. So trying to navigate that in her head and in her body has been very tough, and it has led to some conversations, but we're kind of getting to the root of it now.
Yeah, and that's what we started talking about 5 days ago. That's how the conversation started. I'm glad we remembered that.
And let me just speak from my behalf. I'm the opposite. I don't base value on how much money I'm bringing in. I actually don't even think about how much money I'm bringing in, like sometimes, and that's to my fault, but I more think about like the progress I'm making in different areas, whether it's like just like gaining strength in other areas, or how consistent I am in some areas. So we started by having a conversation about that, and
then one thing led to another, and we started talking about us being a team,
right?
Because we are married.
Yeah, we are married, and we haven't been treating it
like a marriage.
Like a marriage.
Because it was like a freaking weird ass wedding marriage situation, and we don't definitely treat it like we're like we forget we're married.
So we're like we're 2 years into our marriage now.
We file our taxes together,
which is not normal. 2 years into a relationship, you're not doing like the tax stuff with your. So trying to figure out like how we should be acting with each other, but like we're in a committed like relationship, and so I think we finally decided that it's time to start acting like it. Yeah. Like for 2 years now, we've like really had our own goals. I mean, one thing that we really enjoyed about each other is that our values, we're definitely in the same direction. So I think that's something that you should have 100% in common with your partner that you like plan to carry out life with. Like that is something that is gonna destroy you down the road if you don't really address it or talk about it.
For sure.
But we haven't been like acting as a team to achieve those values or achieve goals. Like we make goals for ourselves, but they're not like big goals together, or how we can be helping each other with the goals, if that makes sense.
And we've definitely been working on that this year. Like every month on the fridge, we write down our goals for ourselves as a couple on the fridge. And so we have like our own personal goals, and then we have our couple goals. And hashtag couple goals. But I don't know. We haven't actually set them for April yet. But
yeah, we got to do that.
But it has been really helpful. And just the conversation we had the other day, we were talking about working as a team together, because prior to being in a relationship, I don't think either of us had been in a relationship where we're like sharing expenses and living together full time.
Yeah, or just trying to build something together.
Yeah.
So we kind of like talked about how we could best help each other build, and that gets into like just day-to-day stuff, like what we're doing. And because Danielle feels so bad that like she's not making money, and that's really taking a negative toll on her. And I see it, and I see it around the house. They finally came to like the conversation of, well, like, you don't have a job, like, why don't you just help me make money?
Yeah. So, and then we got started talking about traditional gender roles. He's like, what do you feel about...
I tried to go into this really delicately. I'm like, let's just like imagine a scenario where I am like the breadwinner of the house. Like, I'm building my business. I'm doing something I absolutely love to do. Well, I think, hold on, let's just bring it back even further. We just started talking about like what we really enjoy. Yeah. I really enjoy working hard and trying to like build something. And like I get a lot of satisfaction from building something from scratch. Danielle really loves like giving.
I'm a gift giver.
She's a gift giver, and you love helping people.
Yeah. And so you can maybe see where this is going.
Are you seeing where this is going? And I'm like, well, it sounds like more traditional, but what if you just helped me create the perfect environment for me to work as hard as I could.
Yeah.
And you create you give to me during the day to help me work as hard as I can on building a business. And I am like the provider in the relationship. And
this was like...
That's a lot. The conversation was a lot slower getting to there.
Yeah.
Because Danielle really had a hard time like coming to terms with doing any type of job. Like, no job felt right to you.
Right. I always worked jobs that like were not... They didn't bring me any fulfillment, or like I was contributing to society in the best way that I possibly could. Like, nothing was like my passion project, or that I like really wanted to like throw myself into and like this is my purpose and blah. Like, I've never had a job like that, and I don't know of any jobs that would make me feel that way.
Yeah. So I guess that leaves us with like, I'm like, so what would it look like if we just tried to do daily stuff where you just did more traditional woman things right. And I just did traditional masculine things.
Yeah. So, and honestly, the way that we were talking about it, the way that you were explaining it to me and how I was receiving it at least was instead of you having to stop your workday to like think about and making a decision on what you want to eat every day for the rest of your life multiple times a day is such a fucking annoying thing. So taking that out of your head, like, you don't ever have to worry about like what we're gonna eat that day or like what time we're gonna eat or whatever. Like, me taking that responsibility of just like cooking us the meals, planning the meals, doing the dishes, like literally
basic stuff,
traditional female gender role things, like cleaning the house, taking care of like whatever needs to be taken care of, so that you don't have to stop your workday and think about these mundane chores. And
I can just get so much more done if we can just team up and do that.
It's literally like me being your personal assistant, I think, is what we were talking
about. So the analogy that I used when I explained it to Danielle was like, we are a play. We're a play.
Oh yes, this was so good.
Yeah, we're a play together, and
a theater play.
Yeah, a theater play. So everyone comes and they watch it, and they see a lot of people. So they see that main person, like doing the play, like the main character, and the main character would be me.
Role. You're the lead role.
Yeah, I would be the lead role.
The face of the play.
I would be like making money. You know what I mean? I'd be doing all like the hard work.
You are Troy Bolton in High School Musical.
Yeah, but. Behind the scenes, there is this equally hardworking group of people
called stage crew
that make it all come together, and they are as essential and important as the lead role, because without them, the play doesn't go on. So
literally, like it literally couldn't go on without stage crew.
So yeah, so Danielle would be more the stage crew. She'd be like setting the scenes, making sure everything's in order, making it as easy as possible for the main person to perform and sell tickets and bring home the money, you know what I mean? So I'm like, what if we just put on a play together to some extent, and we work hard together, and that way you are using your strengths of giving and helping and being there for me, and I am using my strengths of like putting my fucking head down and grinding, you know, and building something for us.
Yeah, because you are very, very, very motivated, especially in what you're doing right
Self-motivated, I'd say.
Self-motivated, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't particularly have. Other than this podcast. I love me this podcast.
But it's tough right now because like obviously what I'm doing is so new. I'm not seeing any results. But the fact that I like have Danielle's support and I know that she trusts me with it, it just honestly has made me want to work like harder. Like it makes me want to just grind harder, knowing that like I have someone else counting on me. Like the stage crew worked so hard for me today, and now I need to get my ass out there and perform. You know, so I feel like that has been good for me. We've only been doing this for like a week now.
Literally less than a week, like probably 5 days.
How have you felt just trying this out?
I feel great, honestly. Well, okay, so like, yeah.
It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense
really
that she
does.
would love it so much.
It does, which is so unfortunate because I am such a like liberal, like I don't fit into the traditional role of society kind of person, but and that's why I think this conversation was so interesting and why I think I wanted to talk about it more publicly, maybe, because it's like literally just being an open-minded person and being open-minded to the idea of traditional roles. And so I don't know, it was kind of hard for me, but yeah. But at the end of the day, I was like thinking about it, and I literally, and this is where I might lose some of you because this is pretty woo-woo, but I was writing down these manifestations that I saw from a TikTok, and it was basically like, I get paid to exist. Like money flows freely to me. Like I attract money. My existence is worth being paid for. I don't know, like stuff like that. And I was just writing this down like, yeah, whatever, like all this money is just gonna come to me. And then we have this conversation a couple days later and I was like, wow, that kind of makes sense. How, not that I'm being paid for literally no reason, but my existence of helping you is granting me the money I need to exist.
Yeah. It just all comes back to like super traditional stuff. Like I am like the breadwinner. I am like the leader of the household, and Danielle's there to like spiritually guide me and like take care of the house.
Yeah. Just a little traditional housewife, what can I say? Yes,
I mean we're trying something more traditional, and I think it's been helping Danielle's mental, and it's also been helping me work harder. So the fact that we're able to just kind of team up and play into each other's strengths, and or even like just like understand each other's strengths, look at it that way, and see how we can be more helpful to each other. That conversation has just been really fruitful to us this past week, and I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, this is honestly still just like a trial run. We're not sure if this is going to be the end-all be-all situation for our relationship, but it's fun to try new things, and we're in a position where we are able to try new things, which we're really grateful for. So
yeah, and or even just to be in a relationship where you can try new things, I think is like really important to me. The fact that Danielle was even willing to listen to me,
willing to step back from girl bossing my way to the sun.
Yeah, not every girl needs to be a freaking girl boss. Like it doesn't fit. Like, and I feel like so many girls are pushed to being a girl boss when that is just like not them at all.
Yeah,
especially if like they're like feel like if they hang out with a bunch of liberal people and they're like, you don't need no man.
That's so true. Like
that shit can be toxic. That shit can be so toxic. You really need to take a step back and know yourself and be okay with like fitting into
a different role.
Yeah, even if all your beliefs don't align with it, like you don't have to like fucking pick a side. You know what I mean? Everyone's just trying to live their life and figure it out in the way their own unique way. Like you don't need to take these cookie cutter paths that society has like shown you online and stuff like that. I mean, definitely don't listen to everything you fucking hear online. You probably shouldn't even be listening to most of this right now.
Well, maybe you should be listening to us because we're fun.
Okay, got it.
Cute. I don't know.
But yeah.
But also, going back to, I think I touched on this a little bit, we never had the option to work as a team with somebody else like this. Like, where as a single person, not being in a relationship or anything, you have to provide for yourself. You have to work for yourself and also take care of the house and also take care of your emotional, mental, everything. You have to do everything for yourself as a single person. But when you go into a relationship, that's when you get the opportunity to have this conversation and be like, hey, maybe let's think about what our best role would be in the house. And also this, I think, becomes a conversation when people have kids, which we don't plan on doing, by the way. Stop asking. Well, at least me. I don't know. Whatever. Besides the point.
That's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole other podcast. But for example, like when a woman has a baby, like they take maternity leave because they have to breastfeed or whatever, or just like be there, and then it kind of becomes traditional in that way. Or opposite, maybe, I don't know, because the women's bodies physically go through so much when you give birth, so it kind of has to be that way where the woman takes a break.
At the end of the day, it's all about just like knowing yourself and knowing your partner, and then having conversations about how you guys can best serve each other, like moving forward.
I think another part of this that we should maybe get into now is the history of traditional gender roles in America.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
So I brought up this article. Let me bring it up here real quick. So a quick little summary of why the traditional gender roles in America are the way that they are is because in the prior to the 50s, they kind of already were that way. In the 50s is whenever a lot of young men were yeeted out to war. And that opened up a lot of job opportunities that weren't filled. And who filled those roles? Women. So a lot of women were like, oh my gosh, like I can make money for myself. Like this is crazy. You know?
Can have 2 incomes at home.
Wild. So then, after everybody came back, a lot of people went back to the traditional gender norms. But a lot of women were like, yo, this is kind of sick. Like I don't need no man kind of thing, Well,
I don't think it was immediately that, but that definitely
I'm just giving like a very...
It definitely planted the seed.
Yeah, basic rundown here. But... people started, the government realized that this idea of women kind of taking care of themselves was like not working for their idealistic goal of like the country. Like they wanted this to be a very like what they called nuclear family goals or whatever. And in the nuclear family was traditional gender roles where the woman takes care of the house and the man works, and that's perfect for capitalism because here's where it gets crazy. Because when the women are at home, they are more likely to be consumers. And consumers consume, which feeds capitalism. Yay!
So there's a lot of propaganda around that in the 50s.
Yeah, so it's literally like facts that the government pushed the ideal of traditional gender roles.
But it does make more sense these days for women to have jobs just because everything's so much more expensive.
Yeah,
you know,
honestly,
like not having 2 like incomes is like
you're not gonna make it.
Yeah, it's hard. But
I'm just talking like way back when. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. This little article, if you want to read it, it was by studysmarter.us. I don't know. I honestly hate learning history. History was like my least favorite subject, and I thought this was kind of interesting. So I don't know. But another little article title that I think was interesting or was cute was titled "Evolved but Not Fixed" about traditional gender roles. I don't know. But it's just bringing back to the point that we on our own like started talking about maybe traditional gender roles could work for us. And I think that was interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So that was our topic today. Hopefully.
Yeah, that was our little chat on. We'll have to update you guys to see where this takes us
next week.
We'll see if Danielle can do enough dishes or if I can make enough money. Whatever the combination is, see what's happening or what's not happening. So.
Right. All right. So like we mentioned last week, we want to incorporate you, the listener, into the podcast by you submitting your sticky situations, questions, recommendations, whatever it may be, for us to give you our half full, half empty point of view advice that you maybe should think twice about taking. So that being said,
submissions.
We do have some real submissions. Thank you guys. And we're going to read them now and give you our little advice that you should take lightly. Hello. I am sending this anonymously considering my friend does not want her name said. She was embarrassed, so I said I would do it for her. But anyways, she's in a sticky situation, and we would like your POV on it for the next podcast. Anyways, this man added her on Snapchat. He started talking to her and had asked to take her on a date. Turns out he lives a couple hours away. No biggie, sometimes long distance is better. At this time, she did have a boyfriend, and he was aware that they were not doing well and were going to end it. He was all good with this and continued talking to her. He really played it out as if he really cared for her and wanted to meet her in the future. Then he started to get distant and was leaving her on red every so often and taking a while to reply. And she had mentioned to him, "I thought you were ghosting me." And he said something to the effect, "No, I wouldn't do that." A day or two go by and he ghosts her and blocks her. with no explanation or anything. She was very upset and instantly thought it was her fault, although it was constant mixed feelings regardless, but she said when she started to talk to him, they instantly connected like they knew each other forever. I'm a little confused. So this girl had a boyfriend, and she added another man on Snapchat, and they were talking, and this other man that lives hours away asked her on a date, but she had a boyfriend already.
But they weren't doing good.
But yeah, her and her boyfriend.
And all parties knew that.
All parties knew that her and her boyfriend were like on the rocks and like about to end it. So this new guy was like, cool, I'm just gonna like wait it out. Seems like he really cares. And then he wanted to meet her in the near future.
And then he blocks her and ghosts her.
And then he blocks her and he ghosts and blocks her. And so now she's upset because she thinks it was her fault. Although there were like mixed feelings.
I mean, I don't think it's her fault. I think that's just how the beginning stages of a relationship go sometimes.
Yeah. Well, okay. So did this person just add a rando on Snapchat? Like, I haven't had Snapchat in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where they met.
Yeah.
Like,
is this
did he see your Instagram and add you? Did you meet on like Tinder or something? You know.
Right. Okay.
But I think it's probably just safe to assume it was an Instagram friend or someone that found her on Instagram, added her.
Yeah, just someone that like came across her profile and was like, she's cute, I want to like message her.
Yeah, I want to go see what's going on, and then they talk for hours and hours at night while she still has a boyfriend.
He's asleep next to her and she's like, oh my god, you're so cute.
Yeah, I feel like that's not cool.
That's not cool.
Like having like starting like this emotional relationship with another guy while you're in one.
This kind of is like the first question that we asked last podcast. Whenever I forget exactly.
It's tough. I feel like you gotta.
Oh, you
gotta have hard cutoffs with your relationships.
Yeah, I agree. Even if you are on the rocks and all parties know that it's ending, I don't think you should. That's considered cheating, in my opinion. Like pursuing another relationship while in one.
Yeah, or like making plans to go on a date
when you're still in a relationship. Just end it. Just end it with the current relationship. You know it's gonna end. He knows it's gonna end. Other guy knows it's gonna end. Just end it.
She might be talking more about like what should she do with this new guy that ghosted her, or what are our opinions on the guy that ghosted her.
Well, if he ghosted you, there's kind of nothing you can do about it. And okay,
I feel it comes with the dating territory too. Yeah. Like those beginning phases, like literally anything could happen until you've like hung out with them multiple times, or even I don't even know, stuff could even happen then.
You also could be getting catfished if you've never met them in real life. Contact Neve.
It's Snapchat, so I'm sure they're sending like selfies and stuff.
Well, I don't know. The show Catfish has been on air for like what seems 70 years, so I'm sure that some people are sneaking around their way on Snapchat.
Probably.
I don't know. Whatever. But okay, so it seems like what is it her fault?
No.
I don't think it's her fault that this new guy ghosted you and blocks you. I personally have like a really hard time with people ghosting me from previous experience. So I feel like anybody that ghosts somebody is a piece of shit. Just gonna say it.
Yeah, I feel like you should like not worry about what that guy says just because like people that ghost you, or like just not even worry about that guy anymore because like he probably did you a favor. Yeah. Like if he's the type of guy to not want to like explain himself or explain his actions or like take accountability for like what he can or can't do, like he's probably not someone that you don't want in your life.
Right. So. I agree. I say walk away from all parties, do your own thing, be single, have fun. That's my advice. Yeah.
Yeah, don't get in a relation or don't get married and then not have fun. Right. Start doing traditional gender things. Shit's lame as hell.
Okay, thank you for your submission, by the way. Hopefully we helped. Okay, are you ready for the next one? This one's very short.
Is this anonymous?
Yes, this is anonymous.
Okay, good.
Hi, Danielle and Gunnar. I'm a 17-year-old girl and my grandma complains a lot to me about her health and that she's lonely. But I also need my alone time as well, just hanging out by myself. And I don't always want to talk to her about her issues. She doesn't talk about anything else. I just want to know your guys' opinion on it.
Boundaries.
This is, oh my god. Boundaries are so hard though. It's so simple, but it's so hard. Like... Oh, that's tough. Especially because she's so young. She's 17 and she doesn't want to... Like, you probably don't want to push your grandma away by being like, yo, you need to chill with all this.
Especially if grandma doesn't have anyone else to talk to.
Yeah,
like,
that's
it's super
tough.
easy to, like, feel bad.
It's very easy to also feel like,
You need to fix it.
like the therapist.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you need to be there. You need to be listening to her, and you need to fix it. Like, that is, like, super easy to, like, do or, like, be in the mindset of especially when it's family, you know, because it's so freaking personal.
It is so freaking
It's so hard to walk away and to set boundaries, but I think setting boundaries would be literally the solution to this.
Yeah.
Just tell grandma, hey, like, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends, and that needs to be like a hard that's it. Like, you don't need to explain yourself.
That's
you don't need
so
to do this
true.
or that. It literally just has to be like, no, I'm gonna go do this now, and you need to just stick with that.
Yeah.
And the harder you stand your ground, the more times you do it, the more she'll respect that those are the boundaries. But doing it the first time is hard.
It's gonna be so hard. I'm like cringing for you already.
Yeah, good luck. Very
Good
good.
Ooh, boundary setting. This is something I work on with my therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually just did it for the first time. I'm not going to talk about it, but I just set my first boundary, and I'm proud of myself.
And with each other.
Right. With everybody in your life, you should always try to be firm. Know yourself. Know your boundaries. Know what is okay with you and what is not okay with you.
And have respect for yourself.
Yes.
And don't let people walk all over you.
Yes.
That's like the number one thing. It all comes back to just like respecting yourself, knowing what you want, and then firmly standing your ground in what you want.
Yes.
You got it. We believe in you.
You got it. Tell grandma she ain't.
No.
I'm just kidding.
love the hell out of grandma, but make time for loving the hell out of grandma and being her therapist.
Don't let it consume you.
Next.
Okay, that was a great question. Thank you.
Yeah,
for
thank you.
Thank you for your submission. Okay, third question. Do you want to try reading one?
Yeah, I guess
I feel like I've been having a little bit of trouble reading today.
I'll read a question since Danielle's illiterate. Okay. I'm a female, 20. My boyfriend, Dean, is male, 31. Yikes.
11-year age gap.
Okay. Let's just breeze over that like it's no big deal. We have been together for just over 2 years. I'm in kind of an abusive relationship, and I need money as soon as possible. I need to make this money without him knowing. Would starting an OnlyFans be the best way to do it? All right, so she's in she's 20, her boyfriend's 31,
and he abuses her. Ugh.
It says financially abusive relationship.
Financially.
So he must not like give her money or like let her do money, or they just have a bad relationship with money in their relationship. Starting an OnlyFans to make quick money on the side as soon as possible.
Well, it definitely is very private. Like,
you can do OnlyFans like
and
quick,
not have anybody know.
Quick and discreet.
Especially
100%.
So you don't even have to ever show your face on OnlyFans.
I just don't think OnlyFans is the way to that. I just don't think it's gonna solve your problem.
Then what do you think she should do?
I think you should have a real conversation with your boyfriend about.
He's abusive. You think he's gonna understand?
Or you need to leave him. There's
also like, that's not so easy sometimes.
Yeah. I recommend not doing easy things.
Well, so what she's saying is she just needs to get her own little bit of money so that she can skedaddle. So how can she make the...
It doesn't say that she needs money to leave him.
I need to make this money without him knowing.
Yeah, not to leave him. She just needs to make money and stay in the relationship. Because her boyfriend probably doesn't give her any money. Or something like that.
Well, if it's an abusive relationship in any way, shape, or form, financial, emotional, physical, whatever, like she needs to get out of that.
I agree.
So how I'm reading this is she needs this money so she can leave.
Oh, I'm reading she needs money
so she can stay with him,
so she can buy whatever and probably not leave him.
No, my advice: leave this man. And if the way that you need to leave this man is to be making a little bit of money really quickly without him knowing, I would say maybe. Well, I don't even know if you can do. I don't know if you need to promote it somewhere. Like, there's gonna be work to this. It's like people think OnlyFans is just like an easy way to make a lot of money. That's true.
But like, need to promote it. There's like a lot more behind the scenes stuff that you're gonna need to figure out and hide from your man's. Like, I feel like if you just took that energy into talking with him and leaving him and then finding a job, it might be better used.
Also, I'm wondering,
and less time with the abusive person.
So let's say she has $0 to -$dollars in her bank account or whatever. And like clearly she needs a place to live, she needs food, whatever.
Yep.
I'm considering, does she live near any friends or family that she can go crash on their couch for a couple nights?
Immediate, like, turn the support system, and then, but if there's no support system, that's where this gets, like, tough.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have family, if you don't have a close friend.
If there's no support system, that's even tougher.
If there's a kid involved, this gets really sticky.
I would hope there's no kid involved.
But, yeah, like, you might need help getting out of this one. Like that. Like, more than just you.
I see what she's saying, though, because thinking about starting an OnlyFans for some quick, easy money is, like, very, like, a lot of people think that. But it is a lot of work, and you do have to promote it. And if you don't want people to know it's you can't just be promoting it on your own pages.
Yeah, you can't use your already built social platforms. Like, you have to, yeah. Yeah, like, you probably won't see money for the first 2 months if you can't use your own social platforms and promote. Like,
pretty tough.
So I think the quickest way to get out of this and make money is to ditch the guy and
go to a support system.
Yeah.
But what if she doesn't have a support system?
I still don't think doing the OnlyFans is gonna be beneficial.
Yeah.
I think it'll just cause more controversy.
Especially, what if he finds out that you're doing this without telling him?
Oh, yeah, someone that's super controlling and abusive finds out you're selling your body online for money.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I would maybe, yeah, you know what, I agree. I say maybe let's not do OnlyFans.
That might just lead you to more abuse.
Yeah.
Boom! Solved. Well done. Good job. Problem solved.
Congrats. Should we do one more or no?
Do we have one more?
Okay. You ready?
Get it.
Next question. I have psychotic depression, so this is a pretty specific ask, I guess. I find myself overwhelmed when thinking about the pain and suffering that exists in the world, and dwelling on any dark subject leads me to depression. I imagine the times I have gone through a great pain and terror, and then the thought of so many out there feeling even worse makes me lose all hope. Is it better to block them out or desensitize yourself somehow? I relate to this one for sure. Not that I don't have psychotic depression. I just have regular depression. But
what's the difference?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I think about this a lot, because especially if you're online a lot, or if you watch the news, or if literally anything, if you're just existing in this world, you know about all the crazy stuff happening worldwide, right?
I think let me just stop you right there. I think that is where people mess up. I think that just like consuming too much negative and like fear mongering stuff, especially from the news, who like literally don't care about you or your mental health at all. They just want clicks. Mm-hmm. Like just coming back and like kind of scaling your thoughts down to you and yourself in the current situation you're in, what you're doing to be a good person, and just kind of hanging out more in the present moment, you know. Like I the first thing I would recommend to this person is to delete all social media and not use your TV for a month and see what the hell happens.
I agree. It's definitely easier said than done, but
set hard boundaries for yourself, you know. Yeah. Take it off your phone. Put screen time limits on that.
Yeah.
I've
definitely dealt with this though, because so I'm vegan, and I especially like think about this with all the animal abuse in the world and like just animal cruelty and all this stuff and whatever. And it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel or even have any hope like this person is talking about when there's just so much bad going on in the world. And it's like, I do all I can in my personal life to like not participate in that, or like support that in any way, shape, or form. So like that is kind of what I hold on to, is just like doing what I can to solve all the more dilemmas that really pull at your heartstrings, right?
You know, like you can't solve the world problems all by yourself, but you can only do things that go ahead.
No, yeah,
you can only do things that contribute on your own like scope.
Yeah, but I agree. Definitely consuming less, for sure. And also,
I'd love to see like that person's mindset and their screen time next to each other.
But I also specifically had this happen with scrolling on social media and seeing all of these people finding abandoned animals. And for some reason, there was a short period of time where that was all my feed was. Literally video after video of somebody finding a neglected, abused, abandoned animal and like nursing them back to health,
Because
which is
they
great.
know.
I know, and
They
the algorithm really like taps into what you want.
They said, "Oh my God, she really just typed the most emotional response in the comments. We need to feed her 20 times more of this."
And it was a loop. It literally was like I kept responding to these kind of videos, and then I would get more of them, and it became such an issue that I was like, I don't know what to do. And I think I brought this up to my therapist or something, or maybe just like posted on social media, like, what do I do? I can't take any more of this. And it's like, you gotta stop. Just like go to it, like if you're scrolling or whatever, you go to like the 3 dots and you're like, don't show me videos like this. Like, I get that boosting those posts or whatever is going to help, but there's other people. You can only do so much with what you have, and if your mental capacity is at its absolute limits, like, you got to put it on pause. Those videos will always be there. You can always go search for them, but if it's something that is constantly nagging at you,
right,
like, you got to put it on pause. And so that's what I did. I was like,
good for you. Yeah,
I was like, I don't want to see this video.
I can't help save animals when I am
literally in the fetal
about.
position crying on the ground. Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. So yeah, I would, for sure, just kind of block it out for now.
And also, I think it's really important to realize that the most important thing as a human that you have to offer today in this age is your attention. And realize who you're giving your attention to at all times, whether it's like the news or TikTok, and just think about how you're just giving the most like powerful thing that you have that you can give to someone. You're giving it to them.
True.
And then I would just really keep that energy to yourself. Focus on the here and now.
Yeah, great advice. I think we helped them for
Helped.
sure. Yay, okay.
Advice done.
Wrapping up the episode, I just want to say I am a follower ass bitch. I love to follow people and watch what they do and how they live their lives. So at the end of each episode, we are going to have a reoccurring segment called Creator Spotlight, where we feature one creator that we've really been enjoying lately for whatever reason and tell you why. This week's creator is actually some of our friends. Woo! It is SYLVIA and Noah. We picked SYLVIA and Noah because of today's topic being traditional gender roles, and their gender roles are completely swapped. Mm-hmm. So SYLVIA is the breadwinner and Noah is the stay-at-home husband. Yeah. And he makes content about it online, and I love it. Uh-huh. I love it so much. So
yeah, that's just who we've been watching, and maybe not. It just like influenced us on some subconscious level to like talk more about this topic and find this new light that we found this week. So thanks to them.
I've been like posting the dinners that I've been making and giving them to Gunnar and being like, day 3 of being a stay-at-home traditional trophy housewife. Blah, blah, blah. And Noah will reply to it and just be like, oh my god, yes, like, live your best life. And I'm just like, yes. So like, whatever. But yeah, so they also, if you're interested, they post about van life, travel. Noah's a hairstylist. SYLVIA posts about plus size content and self-love. So if you want to follow them, it is at SYLVIA the Nomad on Instagram and also at noah.simonian on Instagram.
Yeah, give them a follow.
Give them a follow. Tell them that we sent you from Half Full, Half Empty Podcast. All right, new episodes of Half Full, Half Empty Podcast come out every Wednesday to help you get through the week and to also help us get through the week. Make sure to subscribe for free on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Give us 5 stars, give us a like, turn that bell notification on.
Podcast things.
All that podcast stuff. Also, thank you for listening.
We'll see you next week, next Wednesday.
Oh, and if you want to DM us your sticky situations or burning concerns or whatever it is, DM us or click the link in our bio at Half Full, Half Empty Podcast on Instagram, and we will read your submissions and give you half full, half empty advice.
See you next week.
Bye.